ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ज्ञानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। Shloka number 34. I will read, you can repeat. अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम् ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः। So we are seeing one of the important chapters of the Gita, Bhagavad Gita, the fourth chapter, where Avatara topic is discussed. What is Avatara and why it happens? Then the self-knowledge, the knowledge of the self being free from action even when the activities are going on. That knowledge of the actionless self was given. Then the greatness of the self-knowledge was presented by saying that all other sadhanas are secondary sadhanas. The Jnanam is the final sadhanam. And now in this 34th shloka, it is said that how to get this Jnanam. And we saw in the last class, any knowledge is attained by using the means of knowledge. Like if you want to see this pencil, you have to use your eyes. So eyes are called the means of knowledge. And to get this knowledge, you use eyes. But to hear the sound, you cannot use the eyes. For that you have to use ears. So for getting the knowledge of anything, we have to use the means of knowledge and we have to use appropriate means of knowledge. And what are the appropriate means of knowledge for the self? We cannot say eyes, etc. With the eyes, etc., we cannot see the self. If we can see the self with the eyes, then we would have seen it by now. The self is all the time available. So eyes, ears, you cannot hear the self. You can hear about the self, but you cannot hear the self. Like some sound, that you can hear. Oh, you can hear. But like that, you cannot hear Atma. Even though many people say, I heard the sound of Atma, Atma does not have sound, so you cannot hear. And thus, Atma is not available for perception. So, the perception is not the means of knowledge. And inference is based on perception. Therefore, inference also is not the means of knowledge. So what is the means of knowledge? This Vedanta Shastra, the scripture in the form of Vedanta, is the means of knowledge. Vedanto Nama Upanishad Pramanam. Vedanta, which is otherwise called Upanishad, is Pramanam, is the means of knowledge. But if one studies the Vedanta Shastra by oneself, then also knowledge will not come. Why? Because the Shastra is full of paradoxes. Shastras, today only we were seeing the mantra in Kaivalya Upanishad. There it is said, I am seeing without the eyes. I am hearing without the ears. I am having all power without hands and legs. I am knowing without the intellect. So all these are paradoxes. It is smaller than the smallest. It is bigger than the biggest. So all these things, if you try to read by yourself, then you will not really get the message. In fact, you will be more confused. And therefore, in our tradition it is said, to know this Atma Tattvam, you go to the teacher. Teacher will teach Shastra only. Real teacher will never say that this is from me. He will say this is as per Shastra. But Shastra itself will not give you knowledge. Teacher will teach Shastra, and the Shastra taught by the teacher gives the knowledge. And therefore it is said, Tadvidhi, where you get that knowledge by pranipata, by going to the teacher, doing namaskara. And we saw that namaskara is the sign of humility. I am ready to accept the greatness of other person in terms of knowledge. I am admitting I am ignorant and you are knowing, and therefore I have come. Many people have this problem of admitting ignorance. They cannot admit they don't know. Somehow some answer they will give. Even they know that they don't know, but still they will give some answer. That is a wrong attitude, especially in the pursuit of knowledge. You need to accept your ignorance. Then only teacher will say. If you pose yourself as a learned person, knowledgeable person, then teacher will not teach. It is something like your cup is already full with tea. If you put tea further, what will happen? It will come out. No point. The cup is empty, we can put. If somebody is accepting the limitation of oneself, then teaching can be given. So that humility is expressed by pranipata. And also receptivity. The salutation expresses, I am ready to receive the knowledge from you. I am surrendering myself to you. I am available to be molded. That is why in Shastra, for the student, the word is Shishya. What is the meaning of Shishya? Shastum Yogya Shishya. One who is fit to be instructed, one who is ready to be instructed, that person is called Shishya. If a person goes to the Guru and he said, you give teaching, but I will not accept your instruction. I will do whatever I want. You teach, I will select what teaching I have to choose from. Then that is not called Shishya. That person can maximum called Vidyarthi. That also not really Vidyarthi. But a student we can call in English. But Shishya means one who is ready to be molded. And that readiness to be molded, it expressed by pranipata. So two things, humility and readiness to be instructed, taught. Pariprashna. So a student, when he goes to the teacher, he should ask question. Because without being asked, the teacher is not supposed to teach. In our tradition, that rule is there. Na prushtaha kasyachit bruyat, nacha nyayena pruchhataha. You have to ask the teacher, then only teacher should tell the answer. Teacher should talk about Vedanta. And that also appropriately asked. Not that, see, I have given my scooter for repair, I have some time, and you also have time, so let us discuss some Vedanta. Somebody, what is this Atma? Till scooter is repaired, I am available. That type of, if somebody says like this, we should not teach. Means he doesn't have value. So, one should express one jignasa, jnatum ichha. Then only teacher will teach. Therefore, pariprashna, appropriately, concisely, the question should be asked. And third thing is seva, serving the teacher. In olden days, the student will be taught only after some period they have done seva. In Prashna Upanishad it comes, when the 6 disciples went to the Guru and say, we have questions. So the Pippala, the Rishi, the teacher, he says, you stay here for 1 year. All of you stay here and serve the Gurukulam. Afterwards, I will give you permission to ask question. And if I know the answer, I will give the answer. Now, how much risk is there? You give the payment and still the supply is not guaranteed. It's like that. Still they took risk and they asked question and everybody got the answer. So seva means my readiness to serve has to be there. And seva indicates my value for knowledge. I will be telling, I am teacher now, no? So please, Rahul, you become student. Huh? When your turn comes, you teach. Please. This is not a, this is not a custom in our tradition. Okay. So, seva means this readiness to serve, and also it shows the value for teaching. So, these 3 things are highlighted. You learn from a teacher by doing namaskara, asking appropriate question, and doing seva. And now Bhagavan says, Te upadekshanti jnaninaha. Those learned people will teach you. So Bhagavan, it seems like the Bhagavan is giving guarantee. So if you are following these 3 conditions, pranipata, pariprashna and seva, then they will definitely teach you. Because they have no reason for not teaching. When a qualified student with humility and with jignasa, curiosity, when he approaches the teacher, why will he not teach? So he says, Te upadekshanti jnanam. They will teach you, they will impart you the knowledge. Who are they? Jnaninaha. Here Jnaninaha means the people who are well exposed to the traditional teaching. In our tradition, one important thing is, you can become a teacher only if you are a student. Self-styled gurus are not accepted in our tradition. If you accept Bhagavan, for Bhagavan it is accepted. Bhagavan need not be a student. Bhagavan can become directly teacher. Other than Bhagavan, everybody has to be the teacher and the student once upon a time. So those who have been exposed to the teaching, they are called Jnanina, those who have learnt well. Like they say, you can be a commander only when you have been commanded. Those who have received commands, they can give commands. So Jnanina means the people who have learnt from traditional teachers. And they know the methodology of communication. See, Vedanta is to be taught in a particular way. You cannot simply teach, shall I read the mantra, give the meaning of that, and you go to the next one. That is not the teaching. Each word has to be unfolded in a particular manner, particular order. Particular connection is to be given. And that this person knows. Therefore they are called Jnanis. And mere knowing the subject matter as it is academic exercise, that is not enough. In our country, there are so many great scholars, they are teaching in colleges. But they do not have the nishtha, abidance in that knowledge. They will be teaching like a one subject. Physics, chemistry and biology teacher is there. Similarly, one philosophy teacher is there. And they will say like this. See, according to Madhvacharya, it is this. According to Shankaracharya, it is this. According to this Ramanujacharya, it is this. And somebody will ask, sir, what is what is right in that? Because all three are telling different things. He said that you decide. But out of this, important question will be from this. So he will tell only this. So he will be teaching from the standpoint of exam, from the standpoint of doing PhD or masters. And therefore their commitment is not to get this wisdom. Their commitment is to pass the exam, get salary, get more papers written, PhD, so that he will have better what is called reputation. So that's why they are very knowledgeable. In fact, they will give very good what is called description of the mantras. They will give the derivation, grammar, or so much they will give. But they are not tattvadarshinaha. They are not seeing this reality as oneself. In other words, in the language, modern language, they don't walk their talk. They are teaching, but if you ask them that really do you think you are Brahman? No, I don't think I am Brahman. Shankaracharya ji says this. They will say, do you think that you are akarta, non-doer, you are free from all punya papa? No, I don't think. I am very big papi I am. So he is not free from that guilt. Therefore, another condition required is tattvadarshinaha. The people who are seeing this reality very intimately as oneself. Like, I am a human being. That is your conclusion, very firm conclusion. Even if somebody tells that you are animal, other animal, you do not accept. I am a human being. So how intimately it is there? Or I am a man or I am a woman. How intimately it is there in your mind? When you have to fill up the form, they have written ask gender. So you don't have what gender I have. You don't have to do like this. Immediately you write. No. That is called jnana nishtha. Abidance in knowledge. Even though it is a wrong knowledge, but you have abidance. Similarly, tattvadarshi means they are brahmanishtha, jnana nishtha. So two qualities of the teacher. One is they are well learned. They know the methods of communication. Tattvadarshina means they are jnana nishtha. They mean what they are saying. When they say, I am Brahman, they mean it, yes, I am Brahman. They are called tattvadarshina. So here in this shloka, Bhagavan says, if you want to receive this knowledge, you go to learned people, you go to the people who are abiding in this wisdom, do namaskara, do seva, and ask proper question. They will definitely teach. And somewhere it is said, it is a convention, it is a niyama, that wise people, when they are approached with proper attitude by a jignasu, they will definitely teach. There is no really the dearth of the teachers, real teachers, but there is a dearth of right student. If right students are there, Bhagavan will definitely send the teachers. If the locally teachers not available, Bhagavan himself will appear and teach. I have to become a good student rather than complaining about not having good teachers. Alright. Now, from the next shloka, Bhagavan is talk about the result of this jnanam. How this jnanam will help me in my life. Yajnatva na punarmoham evam yasyasi pandava yena bhutanyasheshena drakshyasyatmanyatho mayi. So in this shloka, the two results are talked about. One is mohanashaha, freedom from confusion, freedom from the wrong thinking. Like Arjuna had this wrong thinking, that fighting this war is wrong. That was a wrong thinking, because fighting the war was his duty. It is a thing to be done. And he thought by killing the Bhishma Pitamaha or any other one, he will get papam. Life will be miserable. So that was his wrong thinking. And everybody has got some moha, some confusion. Moha means what? Wrong thinking and confusion. Most of the time people have got conflict to do this or do that. This is right or that is right. They remain confused and don't take any action, don't take any decision. And confusion comes out of two things. One is that lack of clarity. There is no clarity about all the aspects involved in the situation. And second is the fear of failure in making decision. I feel that if I decide like this, I will have failure, and if I fail, then people will blame me. What will happen to me? Therefore, people remain confused. When you have got the self-knowledge, then you have got clarity of thinking. So you will be able to see things properly. And second thing is, you are not afraid of failure. Why? Because the wise person has this understanding that whatever happens, it happens in the non-self. Either in the body, or in the sense organs, or in the mind. In me, the self, nothing happens. Everything happens in non-self. And whatever happens in non-self, I am not affected by that. I am Satya, I am real, and everything is unreal. And whatever happens in unreal cannot affect me, the real. And therefore, person is ever free from that fear of failure. Whatever happens, happens. I am playing this role. I have to decide something. I decide to the best of my capacity without getting carried away by likes and dislikes. We do decide. And whatever be the outcome, some outcome will be there. Puja Swamiji, when some people say, so big function is coming, Swamiji, what will happen? What will happen? Then Puja Swamiji will say, something will happen. And we will go through that. What a big thing. So sometimes a particular happening is not really going to harm us, but the fear of that thing really harms us. And most of our fear are unfounded. This will happen, that will happen. People are so much afraid. After savings of money also, that will not be enough, that will not be enough, that will not be enough, and therefore they remain frightened. Inflation is going up. What will happen? What will happen? Most of the time, things do not happen. Yeah, we do plan for the contingency, but remaining frightened, thinking that something will happen, is because of the lack of objectivity. So the wise person has this, and therefore there is no confusion. There is clarity and conviction. Second benefit is, when you understand the self as it is, you will see that everything is nothing but Paramatma. Everything is in Paramatma. Everything is manifestation of Paramatma. And that Paramatma I am. And therefore, I am in the form of everything. And therefore, there is no sense of smallness. I am all, not small. And when there is sense of smallness, there is a constant self-rejection. Whenever I am thinking I am small, I am small, I am small, I don't know this, I don't have this much, I am not looking good. So many things we have about, conclusions we have about ourselves. So there is a sense of rejection, self-rejection. And when I reject myself, I will feel that the world is rejecting me. So you feel rejected by the world because you have rejected yourself. If you don't reject yourself, whatever the world does, you don't feel rejected. You will take it as a matter of fact. It is something like a salesman goes to sell some product, and that person says, I am not interested in the product. A healthy salesman should not think that, oh, he is rejecting me. He is not rejecting me. He doesn't require somebody comes and sells, comes and markets some product. I said, I don't need it. when I was in Bangalore, I was staying in some place, very small place, so the salesman will come and ring the bell. I go there. And he said, you buy this. I said, I don't need this, I am a sannyasi, I don't need. Then he will say, for you, you don't need, you give it for gifting others. I said, no, I don't have to give, people give me gift, so I don't need that. So when I say that, I am not rejecting the person. So salesman should not take it as a rejection of himself. He says, oh, this person doesn't need. So if you present some idea and other people, they reject your idea, then you need not feel rejected. You are not rejected. Your idea is rejected. Your idea is not you. Idea has come to your mind. Idea is not you. But what happens generally, you have seen in a meeting, if somebody proposes some idea and if it is not rejected, person feels very much, rejected. He says, I will not speak anything. So basic thing is, I do not reject myself. I accept myself as I am. Then I will not feel rejected by anybody. I will take it as a matter of fact. Pujya Swamiji, when he went to Gujarat and he gave the talks in English, and some Gujaratis who don't know English and they have got allergy to English, they wrote one question. He says, why the talk should be in English in Gujarat? So in a way it is an insult to Swamiji. Swamiji gave the talk whole day, and in the evening this person is raising this question like this. Swamiji did not feel at all rejected. He said, yes, you are right. You are right. You may like to listen to it Gujarati. Next time we will organize to send some Gujarati teachers. This is called objectivity. He did not feel rejected and resentment or anything. Simple. They need something. So we will provide that. Not that, oh, whole day I spoke and you are, after all this, you are doing like this. Why it is a great insult to me? No, not at all. So in life, you will not feel rejected by others when you have acceptance of yourself. And acceptance of oneself comes by seeing yourself to be acceptable. I am acceptable, therefore I accept myself. And how am I acceptable? Because I am limitless. Nothing is missing in me, existence, consciousness. I am one with Paramatma, in me nothing is missing. And therefore, you do not feel rejected. That is what is said here in this shloka. Yad Natva, having attained this knowledge, Punaha, again, Moham na yasyasi, you will not attain confusion, delusion. Evam, the way you have got now. Arjuna was full of confusion. And so Bhagavan says, the way you are confused now, like that you will not be confused if you get this knowledge. Hey Pandava, hey Arjuna. So this knowledge will make you free from confusion. Otherwise many people life, they get spent only in confusion. They remain confused. They themselves are confused and they confuse others also. But if you have this self-knowledge, you become free from confusion. And yena, because of this knowledge, drakshasi, you will see, bhutani, all things and beings, asheshena, without any exception, Bhai Atmani, you will see all the things and beings in yourself. Like water can see all the waves in itself. Water can say, all waves are in me. Means what? All waves have no being apart from me. So similarly, you will see all things and beings in you. Atmani, Atha, and also Mai, in the Lord. Means you will see that I and the Lord are one, in whom the entire world is. Means you are Sarvatma Bhava. Right now what we have? This is me, this is you. So there is a constant fight. But when you get the wisdom that everyone is non-separate from me, There is no fighting, there is no conflict, there is no rejection. Thus, two benefits were talked about in this shloka. One is freedom from delusion, second is sarvatma bhavaha, seeing that all are manifestation of me. Now in the next shloka, one more benefit is talked about. Api chedasi papebhyah sarvebhyah papakrittamah sarvam jnanaplavenaiva vrijinam santarishyasi. So here Bhagavan says, this jnanam will make you free from all types of papa. Many people do not believe in punya papa. What is punyam? Punyam is invisible result of the action which is prescribed by the Shastra. For example, Shastra says, do sharing, help people. So Shastra prescribes that action. So when you do that action, sharing, then it will give you some invisible result. Now invisible result we can understand in modern time. There's some amount is credited in your account. Automatically, you don't see, but it is credited in your mobile, etc. If somebody does something, or you yourself do, you pay some money, then amount is credited. So similarly, when you do right action, then invisible result is credited in your account. That invisible result is called punyam. So people say, Swamiji, punya papa, who has seen? They are not available for see. And papam is what? The invisible result of action which is prohibited by the scripture. Like Shastra says, certain things should not be eaten, drunk, you should not hurt anyone. So if you hurt someone, you get some invisible result called papa. This punya and papa are purely based on scriptures. If somebody says, show me punya papa, we cannot show. In laboratory or anywhere, we cannot show. So they are purely based on Shastra. But those who believe in Shastra, they believe in punya papa. And most of the religious people have that guilt. What? I am papi. I have done lot of papa. And we hear the description also that if somebody has done this papa, he will go to this naraka. If this papa, this naraka. If that papa, that naraka. We have got about 24 or 28 types of naraka talked about in Bhagavatam. Kumbhipaka naraka is there. Andhatamisra naraka is there. So many types of naraka is there. And the description there in Bhagavata it comes that if this papa, this. So many people will think, Swamiji, I will go into all narakas because all types of things I have done. And so fear remains. And also we feel that in this life itself we may have to suffer. And throughout the life, the fear of papa continues. At the end of the life also fear continues. See, having the concern and alertness about papam is a good thing. You are alert that by me, let there not be papa done in any manner. That's a good thing. We should try to avoid doing papa. That is correct. But what happens? A person remains constantly with guilt. Oh Swamiji, some 10 years ago I have done this. 12 years ago I have done this. And person constantly is crippled with this guilt. And because of guilt, mentally he or she becomes weak. Guilt makes a person weak, cripples the person down. And whatever you do, all your papas are not resolved. The Shastra says here that if you get jnanam, then all your papa will be destroyed. How is it possible? It is not that Jnanam directly destroys Papa. Atma Jnanam removes the Ajnanam about me. And when Ajnanam, ignorance is gone, then ignorance born wrong conclusions are gone. Like, I understand that I self am asanga, akarta means non-doer, abhokta, non-enjoyer, non-experiencer. Then my misconception that I am the doer, etc. goes away. And when misconception goes away, then this misconception based guilt also goes away. When I understand I am akarta atma, then kartrutvam, sense of doership goes away. And papam, which is based on sense of doership, that also goes away. And that is said here, that if you get this knowledge, you will be free from all papas. You will be free from the guilt of papa, and you will be free from papa. So somebody may say, by knowledge, how can I be free from papa? It is something like you have done so many wrong things in dream. And if you wake up, you are free from all papa. That's why when anything done wrongly in dream, it doesn't cause you papa. Moment you wake up, you are free. In fact, during dream itself you are free, but you are having this fear, you have got guilt. But when you wake up, you say, no, really I did not do anything. So just by waking up, you become free from all papas done in the dream. Similarly, by waking up to your higher nature, you become free from all papas done in this life and in the earlier life. That is said here, apichet, even if you are papakrittamaha, means greatest perpetrator of papam, greatest offender, sarvebhyaha papebhyaha, compared to all papis, compared to all offenders, you are papi number 1. Means the papam which you have done, you think nobody has done. So even if you think you are not, Bhagavan is telling Arjuna, you are not a papi, you are not a great papi. You are a religious person. But even if you think you have done great papa, sarvam jnana plave neva, by the boat of knowledge, jnana plave means boat of knowledge, santarishyasi, you will cross over vrujinam, all papa. By the boat of knowledge, the ocean of papam, you will easily cross over. How? Because I understand that I am akarta, abhokta, it is something like waking up from the dream. Therefore, you become free from all papa. Meera, in one bhajan, she says, Bhavasagar sab sukh gaya hai, fikar nahi more taran ki. He said, the ocean of samsara is dried up. Therefore, I don't have to cross. If the ocean is full of water, then we have to swim. He said, I do not have to swim because the ocean itself is dried up. Similarly, here, when you understand yourself to be what you are, you become free from all papa. Then somebody may say, Swamiji, what about punyam? Will I be free from punyam? Shastra says, yes. When you get Atma Jnanam, your punyam will be destroyed, your papam will be destroyed, your punyam also will be destroyed. Why? Just as when you wake up from the dream, all your good activities also are resolved. You don't get any punyam for doing good activities in dream. You cannot say, Swamiji, I gave this $25 billion in dream. It will not give you any punyam. Or, Swamiji, in dream I slapped 5 people. You will not get any papam also. In Swapna Avastha, you exhaust your karma, but you don't earn new karma. It is something like, when you go to some countries on visa, tourist visa, you cannot earn. You can only spend. You cannot earn. If you earn, you will be caught. So similarly, the dream is like that. You can exhaust your small punya papa. You don't earn any punya or any papa. You wake up, you are free from the result of all actions. Similarly, by this vote of knowledge that I am a karta bhokta, you will cross over all papa and punyam as well. So punyam tarishyasi, papam santarishyasi, punyam api santarishyasi. And here Bhagavan Bhashyakara says, from the standpoint of the ultimate goal of life, punyam also is binding. Papa is binding, punyam also is binding. From the ultimate standpoint, initially we should earn more punyam so that we have got conducive atmosphere. But from the ultimate standpoint, punyam also is binding. Why? Because punyam will give you one more janma. And again you will be in the cycle, continue in the cycle of birth and death. Therefore, for a wise person, punyam and papam both are destroyed. Because the main papam is ajnanam. That ajnanam is destroyed. So Bhagavan says, by getting this knowledge, you will be free from all papa. And this idea is further explained in the next shloka. Yathedhamsi samidhognihi Bhasmasat kurute Arjuna Jnanagnis sarva karmani Bhasmasat kurute tatha. So Bhagavan explains this idea that how you will be free from all papam by this knowledge. He gives the example. Just as the fire which is well kindled, fire which is very well lit up, it will destroy, it will turn into ashes all the logs, all wood, firewood. So just as fire turns all firewood into ashes, similarly the fire of knowledge will turn all the karmas into ashes, means will be removed. And here karma does not mean action. Here karma means punya papa. And this punya papa is of three types. One is called sanchita, other is called prarabdha, other is called agami. Sanchita punya papa means the punya papa which you have gathered over millions of births. Every human birth we earn millions of punya papa. So many. Every day we do so many punyam, so much papam. If you are not alert in our life, more papam than punyam. And this we have gathered over so many lives. Then, so you have got one fixed deposit. So fixed deposit of punya papa is sanchita karma. Out of fixed deposit, like you must be doing that after some time this fixed deposit is mature. Then what you do, that amount you can take it to saving bank account. So which you can withdraw also. So from sanchita some part is taken out, which is called prarabdha. And the prarabdha is responsible for the next body, next life experience. So when I leave this body, and if I have not got moksha, then my sanchita karma account is there. From that prarabdha is taken out, and that prarabdha will decide which type of body I should get. Whether human body or animal body or deva's body. If lot of punyam is there, more punyams are fructified, I will go to deva loka. If it is more papam, then I will become animal. And if I have got almost 50-50. Not exactly 50-50, 51-49%. Punya papa. 51 papa, 49 punya. Or 49 papa and 51 punyas. If that is this balance, then I will be born as a human being. Therefore, every human being is a mishra. Every human being will have some punya, some papa. Therefore, you will have some pleasant experience in your life and some unpleasant experience in your life. No human being can have only dukkha. Some sukha will be there. And not only sukha, some dukkha also will be there. He's like a Gujarati pickle. Thoda kata, thoda meetha. So little bit sweet, little bit sour. That's how it is. Everybody of us will have some difficulties and some comforts. Some problem will be there. Some people say, Swamiji, everything is okay, but my son doesn't listen to me. So, or somebody will say, Swamiji, everything okay, but my health is not okay. Everybody is okay, but my grandson is not doing well. So I am so much suffering because of that. See, grandson suffers, his prarabdha is there. But you also have prarabdha to suffer because of your grandson. So by one situation, the papam of many people is exhausted. Whoever is connected with that, they will be exhausting their karmas. And so human being means Mishra, all mix up. And so that is called prarabdha. And this prarabdha will decide the type of body. It is also deciding your lifespan. So generally prarabdha will decide how many years you have to live. Sometimes in Shastra they say your prarabdha is deciding your lifespan in terms of number of breaths you will take. How many breaths you will take. So when that last breath account is over, then next breath you will not take. It goes out, doesn't come. You breathe out, then afterwards you don't breathe in. That's why we say he breathed his last. So last breath. It goes out, it doesn't come back. So all is decided by prarabdha. And they say prarabdha is also deciding factor for marriage. That's why we have an expression, marriage is made in heaven. Means what? Marriage is generally predestined. Many stories I have heard. I ask people that how did you meet each other? They will have different stories. Some interesting story that it cannot happen, but somehow that person has come to see somebody else, and this girl was there, and they got married. That type of thing also happened. So many stories that how they got married, they are also surprised. So marriage also is decided by prarabdha. Therefore, no point in blaming spouse or parents. Swamiji, my parents got me married with this fellow. I would have married somebody else. Prarabdha was very strong. So most of the important events in your life are decided by prarabdha. And the third karma is called agami karma. Agami karma means the punya papa you are gathering in this life. One is like fixed deposit, other is like saving, and the third is like your transaction. So you are depositing money in your saving bank account, or we are making some FDs. So that is called agami karma. Agami karma means the punya papa gathered in this life. And Bhagavan says, by the fire of knowledge, all types of sanchita karma will be destroyed. Punya also destroyed, papam also destroyed. Agami will not come, and prarabdha will be exhausted in this life. Prarabdha karma is not destroyed by jnana, and it is a blessing also. If prarabdha karma is destroyed by jnanam, then what will happen? Moment person gets jnanam, his prarabdha is over, and prarabdha is over means life is over. Because prarabdha is responsible for life. So moment you get jnanam, you will just pop up. What I think, that then nobody will come to Vedanta class. Now also very few people come. And if this is the situation, then moment you get jnanam, and then person dies away, that doesn't happen. Thank God. Otherwise another problem will be that we will not have a wise person as our teachers. Why? Because moment you get jnanam, person is dead. It means one who is not dead is what? Who has not got jnanam. So all ignorant teachers alone will be there. Therefore thank God that prarabdham is not destroyed by jnana. Then somebody said, but how come prarabdha is not destroyed? When we wake up from our dream, all our karmas are destroyed. So prarabdha also should be destroyed. Then we say, we have an example. That in Shastra they give the example that a hunter, he thought there is a tiger, and he has been told that you kill the tiger because the tiger is killing so many human beings. So this hunter, thinking that there is a tiger, he releases the arrow. And when arrow is released, because of sound, he sees that one animal is running, and that animal is not tiger, it is a cow. Now this fellow is a Hindu fellow, and therefore he doesn't want to kill the cow. But now arrow is released. So released arrow cannot be brought back. So what will happen? It will definitely hit the target. So prarabdha is compared to the released arrow. Sanchita is like the arrows in the quiver. And therefore prarabdha will do its job. And it is a blessing also. Because of prarabdha continuity, we have got wise people to teach us. And all other karmas are destroyed. That is said here. Hey Arjuna, yatha, just as Samidhognihi, well kindled fire, Bhasmasat kurute, turns into ashes. What? Edhamsi, firewood. Just as Samidhognihi, well kindled fire, Edhamsi, firewood, Bhasmasat kurute, turn into ashes, means destroys. Tatha, similarly, Jnanagnihi, the fire of knowledge, Bhasmasat kurute, turn into ashes, sarva karmani, all karma, all punya papas are destroyed. And here one more point we say, that prarabdha continues from the standpoint of the onlookers. From the standpoint of a wise person, prarabdha is not there. Because in his vision, everything is Brahman, including prarabdha. And therefore, for him, prarabdha is mithya, it is negated. Only from the standpoint of onlooker, it is said there is a prarabdha. Otherwise, from the standpoint of a wise person, I am free from all punyam, all papam. Na punyam, na papam, na saukhyam, na dukkham. That is his vision. So, Jnanagni destroys papam. Now, from the next sloka, next sloka, Bhagavan is glorifying this knowledge as the most purifier. Jnanam is the greatest purifier. That's what he says in the next sloka. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitramiha vidyate tatsvayam yoga samsiddhaha kalenatmani vindati. So Bhagavan says here that the knowledge, self-knowledge is the greatest purifier. We have so many purifiers. We have got water purifier, AquaGuard and all this, that was Kent, etc. So many purifier. Fire also is purifier. It burns and it cleanses the metal impurities. That's why people put the metal into fire. It cleanses. So fire is a purifier. Water also is purifier. Some dirt is there, you put water, that dirt goes away. So we have got fire is a purifier, water is a purifier. Sometimes wind is purifier. If so much smell is there, you switch on the fans, the smell will go away. Wind also is purifier. And some karma, some japa, etc. also is purifier. Japa is a very good means for removing the papa. Jakaro janma vichhedaha, pakaro papanashanaha. So in japa, ja is saying that if it is done properly, it will lead to jnanam and it will lead to freedom from janma. And main thing is papanashanam. More and more you chant Bhagavan Nama, then papam will be reduced. So the japa also is purifier. Some rituals you do, then also some papam is destroyed. Some brahmahatya is done, then some ashwamedha yaga is done, so this papam goes away. Certain puja is done, papam goes away. And certain dhanam is done, then also papam goes away. That's why if somebody is dying, then they say that you do dhanam so that whatever papa he has done will be neutralized. So certain actions are also considered to be purifier. So we have got so many purifiers. Water purifier, water is a purifier, fire is purifier, wind is purifier, and some karma, japa, etc. are purifier. But Bhagavan says here that no purifier is as good as this knowledge. So he says, he indeed, iha, in this world, jnanena sadrisham, equal to knowledge, pavitram, purifier. We have to supply anyat. Anything else equal to knowledge in terms of purifying, na vidyate, is not there. Any other purifier is not equal to knowledge. Means the knowledge is the most purifying one. Why? Because knowledge removes my impurity of papam, it removes the impurity of punyam, because punyam also is from ultimate standpoint is impurity. That also gone, and the greatest impurity of ajnanam is removed. Ajnanam is removed, ajnana based wrong misconceptions are removed. Therefore the knowledge is the greatest purifier. All other purifiers bring purity but temporary. See, every day we take bath. So we take bath, our body becomes pure, but again next day impure. We wash our area, the ground or veranda, but next day again it becomes dirty. So all other purifiers, they give the purity but temporary. Even japa gives the purity, but again you do papam, again papam will come. Jnanam is such that it removes the purity for good. Once you have got jnanam, no impurity can touch you. Therefore jnanam is the greatest purifier. And how will you get this jnanam? Yoga samsiddhaha. Samsiddha means ready, prepared. Being prepared by karma yoga and upasana yoga, that knowledge, vindati, one attains. Where do you attain? Atmani. Here Atmani means in the mind. And Swayam, person himself, the person who has prepared himself, he himself will get jnanam. So here one important thing is, if you prepare yourself, then you alone will get jnanam. Your spouse will not get jnanam. You cannot say to your spouse that anyway you do karma yoga, you do upasana yoga, you get ready and then get me knowledge. That is not there. Whoever is prepared, that person alone gets jnanam. Your proxy will not work. Sometimes we do not, on my behalf somebody else does. For jnanam it is not there. Whoever prepares oneself, whoever does Shravana Manana, Nididhyasanam, that person alone gets jnanam. Swayam, oneself, gets jnanam. Then important question will come, Swamiji, how long will it take? People ask this question. Swamiji, how much time I will need to get jnanam so that I can plan something else after jnanam? First of all, we say that once you have got jnanam, you don't have to plan for anything else. You are on complete retirement. Once you get jnanam, nothing else is to be done. But still, Swamiji, you give me some idea. How much time it will take? Bhagavan says, Kalena. Kalena means in course of time. So in course of time means what? It depends upon you. There is no fixed time. We cannot say that we are running 1 week course, in 1 week you will get jnanam. There is no such thing. We are running the course for a year, 3-year course we have, 2-year course now, 1-year course is there. We do not give guarantee that by end of this course you will definitely get jnanam, means effective jnanam. Some knowledge definitely you will get, but that effective knowledge which gives moksha, we don't give guarantee. Why? because it depends upon the person. Even simple thing I ask you, emotional maturity, how much time it takes? Is there a fixed time? Some people become mature in 2 years. Means they get emotional maturity. Very youngsters I have seen very mature, and very old people are immature. Age doesn't matter. Some youngsters, what they are able to understand the futility of certain things, the old people are not able to understand. So age is not a criterion. Time is not a criterion that only in this time person will get maturity. Similarly, this knowledge also, kalena, in course of time one attains. And this knowledge is the greatest purifier. More we will see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnami. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha.